Good evening, I'm Alistair Cooke. We are at the 5th adventure in the P.G. Wodehouse chronicle of the incurable bachelor Bertie Wooster and his man Jeeves. And here, Bertie and an old friend get knee-deep in what Wodehouse called the tangled green swamp of jealousy over Angela. Angela is the archetype of the Wodehouse heroines. To their swains, they are thought of as angels. In the flesh, they are pretty, breezy, gutsy, and never likely to take any nonsense from a member of the Drones Club, least of all from Bertie. At the end, we shall have something to say about Wodehouse's daily routine in old age in his small, comfortable house on Long Island, and also about a problem that confronts anyone who would try to put his work on film or on the stage. The last of our stories of Jeeves and Wooster. P.G. Wodehouse was 80 in 1961 and still putting out a novel a year. On his 80th birthday, he wrote to his oldest friend, "The great thing about being an octogenarian is that you can legitimately become set in your ways. Today, in my quiet rural retreat, I do the same things day after day with no variation. Morning exercises, breakfast, work till noon, watch Love of Life on television, lunch, take the dogs to the post office, walk back, more work, cocktails, dinner, and then the quiet evening with a Rex Stout or an Earl Stanley Gardner. Monotonous? Not a bit of it. I love it. The cry goes around Long Island. Wodehouse has found his niche." And another great thing, an octogenarian is not expected to go to parties. The thought that I shall never have to wear a paper hat again is a very sustaining one. Throughout his 80s, he had a lively ambition, which was, when he died, to have left behind as many books as his years on earth. He made it. Apart from the hundreds of essays and musical comedy lyrics and plays and so on, he published 93 books, and he was writing on the day he died at the age of 93. Now, some of you will have noticed a problem about filming Wodehouse, which is exactly the same as the problem of filming Dickens or Mark Twain. You can film the plot. You can record the dialogue. It is very difficult to film the funny writing, the author's running commentary on the characters, the way they look, the way they behave, their motives, which is what makes Dickens Dickens, and Mark Twain, and Wodehouse Wodehouse. How do you film a sentence like this? At this accusation, he hesitated and assumed that hangdog look, which is a sure sign of an Englishman about to speak French. Of course, he wasn't going to speak French. Or this one, a golfer, a very fussy golfer, who demanded absolute silence when he addressed the ball. Practically anything put him off, but most of all, the hullabaloo of the butterflies in the neighboring meadow. Unfilmable. Well, in the hope of cajoling more people to read Wodehouse in the original, I'd like to read you a short passage which is deceptively simple, never a syllable of jargon, nor a spare word, which may also give a hint of why Evelyn Waugh and George Orwell thought Wodehouse was a master of English prose. It's the opening of a story called Uneasy Money. In a day in June, at the hour when London moves abroad in quest of lunch, a young man stood at the entrance of the Bandolero restaurant in Shaftesbury Avenue, looking earnestly up. He was a large young man, in excellent condition, with a pleasant, good-humored, brown, clean-cut face. He paid no attention to the stream of humanity that flowed past him. His mouth was set, and his eyes wore a serious, almost wistful expression. He was frowning slightly. One would have said that here was a man with a secret sorrow. William Fitzwilliam Delamere Chalmers, Lord Dawlish, had no secret sorrow. All that he was thinking of at that moment was the best method of laying a golf ball dead in front of the Palace Theatre. It was his habit to pass the time in mental golf whenever Claire Fenwick was late in keeping her appointments with him. On one occasion, she'd kept him waiting so long that he'd been able to do 9 holes, starting at the Savoy Grill and finishing up near Hammersmith. His was a simple mind, able to amuse itself with simple things. Alistair Cooke, Masterpiece Theatre. Good night.